Viral video of a boat packed with migrants near the Carlsbad shore is raising a lot of concern for some local leaders.
Down here on Carlsbad off Grand Avenue, about approximately 10 people hopped out of the boat.
Well, to see it live like that, I mean, even the police and the Border Patrol said they've never caught it live like I did.
And were picked up by an SUV and driven away. It was a very coordinated effort.
But those are the individuals who are not afraid to cross and surrender themselves to Border Patrol at the border.
But the view quickly changed from calming to chaos.
So to see one coming toward the shore at...
Border security debate ignited. The recent incident of a migrant boat evading surfers and landing on a California beach in Carlsbad has reignited debates over U.S. border enforcement and immigration policy. The dramatic scene, captured on video and widely circulated on social media, depicted a motorboat loaded with migrants making a high-speed landing between surfers before beaching itself on the shore. As at least 16 individuals disembarked and dispersed into the nearby residential and commercial areas, concerns about illegal immigration and border security were thrust into the spotlight. The incident, occurring just 50 miles north of the Mexican border, prompted local leaders from the San Diego area to voice their demands for increased border enforcement measures. During a press conference held near the site of the landing, elected officials from various cities and San Diego County emphasized the need for harsher penalties on human smugglers and urged state and federal authorities to allocate more resources to border security efforts. County Supervisor Jim Desmond underscored the urgency of the situation, highlighting the rise in maritime smuggling events off the California coast from 308 in 2020 to 736 in 2023, according to U.S. data.
Viral video of a boat packed with migrants near the Carlsbad shore is raising a lot of concern for some local leaders.
Down here on Carlsbad off Grand Avenue, about approximately 10 people hopped out of the boat.
Well, to see it live like that, I mean, even the police and the Border Patrol said they've never caught it live like I did.
And were picked up by an SUV and driven away. It was a very coordinated effort.
U.S. Representative Mike Levin, whose district includes Carlsbad, called on the Republican House leadership to bring a pre-existing resolution to a vote. The resolution aims to expand the range in which Customs and Border Patrol agents can operate at sea, doubling it from 12 to 24 nautical miles. This proposed measure seeks to enhance the capabilities of law enforcement agencies to prevent and intercept such maritime smuggling incidents before they reach the shoreline. While landings and interdictions at sea are not uncommon occurrences along the California coast, the striking nature of this incident, captured on video, has drawn renewed attention to the issue. According to Robert Butler, chief executive of Towboat U.S. San Diego, the marine salvage company responsible for removing abandoned boats from San Diego County beaches, 1 to 4 such boats are discovered each week. These vessels are typically found loaded with multiple fuel tanks, but provide scant evidence regarding their origin or the identities of those operating them. The incident underscores the challenges faced by authorities in combating maritime smuggling activities and securing the nation's borders. Despite ongoing efforts to enhance border security and enforcement measures, incidents such as this highlight the persistent vulnerabilities and gaps in the existing system. The illicit activities of human smugglers and the risks posed by unauthorized border crossings continue to pose significant challenges for law enforcement agencies and policymakers alike.
But those are the individuals who are not afraid to cross and surrender themselves to Border Patrol at the border.
But the view quickly changed from calming to chaos.
So to see one coming toward the shore at...
And we see a border strewn with identification cards from all over the world.
A man capturing a boat racing towards the shore.
It was like, and the lifeguards were sitting right there, so I thought it was a plan.
Local leaders demand action. The recent emergence of a cell phone video capturing over a dozen individuals disembarking from a motorboat onto a Carlsbad beach has ignited fervent calls from local leaders for reinforced border security measures. Customs and Border Protection reported that approximately 15 to 20 individuals leaped from the suspicious vessel around 11 a.m. on Saturday. The footage depicts most of them swiftly entering an awaiting SUV stationed on Garfield Street and Grand Avenue in Carlsbad, which promptly sped away. In response to this alarming incident, U.S. Border Patrol agents and CBP air and marine interdiction agents swiftly intervened, discovering one deserted vessel upon their arrival, which was subsequently seized by CBP air and marine operations. Law enforcement authorities have launched an investigation into the matter, although no arrests have been made in connection with the event thus far, as per CBP statements. The proliferation of such illicit activities, compounded by previous instances of smuggling operations, has galvanized local officials into action. Vista Mayor John Franklin, alongside the mayors of Carlsbad, San Marcos, and the deputy mayor of Oceanside, convened a joint press conference on Monday, advocating for decisive action from both state and federal authorities to bolster border security. Mayor Franklin emphasized the urgent need for enhanced border security measures to safeguard resident safety. He underscored the concerning trend of disorder at the border, emphasizing that the absence of repercussions for cross-border transgressions emboldens individuals to engage in such activities, consequently undermining the safety of their cities.
Not want to be apprehended or interdicted by law enforcement, and that is the reason that they are coming in boats to our beaches.
And unfortunately, as the mayor of Carlsbad had mentioned, we can't do anything.
We're calling on President Biden, we're calling on Congress to step up security at our ports and on our beaches.
Echoing this sentiment, Oceanside Deputy Mayor Ryan Keim lamented the permissive environment that incentivizes unlawful border crossings, emphasizing the imperative of rectifying the existing framework. County Supervisor Jim Desmond highlighted a critical flaw in the current system, asserting that local law enforcement agencies lack the authority to hand over apprehended individuals to Customs and Border Patrol, exacerbating the enforcement challenge. He stressed the urgent need for legislative reforms to address this deficiency and streamline collaboration between local and federal agencies in combating illicit border activities.
We know about the 125,000 migrants who've been enter our county and seeking asylum. And it's unfortunate. I talked to somebody familiar with the salvage company, and they said that they pick up about 4 boats a week. The idea that the people that jumped off the boat, ran into the neighborhood, got in a car, and got away, we have no idea. It's scary for our residents. Actually, our property burglaries and things like that have gone up.
In contrast, immigration advocate Lillian Serrano shed light on the broader systemic issues plaguing the immigration landscape. Serrano, who serves as the director of the Southern Border Communities Coalition, criticized the deterrent-focused approach of current immigration policies, arguing that such measures disproportionately impact migrants, pushing them towards perilous routes of entry into the U.S. She highlighted the barriers erected at official ports of entry, forcing migrants into precarious alternatives, including desert crossings and maritime voyages, in pursuit of refuge.
In San Diego County, in the community of San Isidro, right at the U.S.-Mexico border, some Border Patrol agents are telling us that they don't consider them to be in custody. Here in San Diego area, there are 2 walls that separate Mexico from the United States.
The convergence of these perspectives underscores the multifaceted challenges inherent in addressing the complex issue of border security and immigration enforcement. Local leaders, cognizant of the immediate threats posed by illicit border crossings, advocate for proactive measures to fortify border defenses and mitigate associated risks to public safety. Simultaneously, immigration advocates emphasize the humanitarian dimensions of the crisis, advocating for compassionate and equitable immigration policies that prioritize the well-being of vulnerable migrant populations. Amidst these divergent viewpoints, the imperative for comprehensive reform emerges as a unifying principle. Recognizing the interconnected nature of border security and immigration policy, stakeholders must engage in collaborative efforts to enact holistic solutions that balance the imperatives of security, compassion, and justice. Only through concerted action at the local, state, and federal levels can the systemic challenges confronting the nation's borders be effectively addressed, ensuring the safety and well-being of both residents and migrants alike. Urgent calls for enhanced border security. The recent incursion of a motorboat carrying migrants into the coastal enclave of Carlsbad, California, has reignited calls for enhanced U.S. border enforcement, prompting local leaders from the San Diego area to demand urgent action. The unsettling incident, captured in a widely circulated video on social media, depicts the boat's abrupt beaching on Saturday, followed by the disembarkation of at least 16 individuals who swiftly dispersed into the surrounding residential and commercial districts. This brazen display of unauthorized entry has intensified the ongoing debate surrounding U.S. immigration policy, further accentuated by the looming specter of the forthcoming presidential election. In response to the alarming event, elected officials representing nonpartisan offices across 4 cities and San Diego County convened a joint press conference near the Carlsbad site, situated approximately 50 miles north of the Mexican border. Expressing grave concern over the implications of such maritime smuggling incidents, County Supervisor Jim Desmond underscored the imperative of bolstering border security measures and imposing harsher penalties on human smugglers. Citing a concerning escalation in maritime smuggling events off the California coast, Desmond emphasized the urgent need for increased federal resources and heightened vigilance from state and federal authorities. U.S. Representative Mike Levin, whose district encompasses Carlsbad, echoed these sentiments, urging Republican House leadership to expedite the consideration of a pre-existing resolution aimed at expanding the operational range of Customs and Border Patrol agents at sea. The proposed measure seeks to double the range within which enforcement activities can be conducted, potentially enhancing the capacity to interdict illicit maritime smuggling operations before they reach the shoreline. Despite the prevalence of such incidents, the conspicuous imagery captured in the viral video serves as a stark reminder of the pervasive challenges confronting maritime border security. The frequency of such clandestine landings at sea underscores the urgent imperative of addressing the underlying factors driving maritime smuggling operations. Robert Butler, chief executive of Towboat US San Diego, shed light on the recurring phenomenon of abandoned boats littering San Diego County beaches, highlighting the proliferation of fuel-laden vessels with scant traces of origin or ownership. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.